Clear the halls and get to your class, because your turf teacher is getting ready to call the roll. And if you missed this class, you just aren't keeping up with Mr. Jones. Now here's your turf teacher, Mr. Jones.
Keeping on with Mr. Jones, we're keeping.
And welcome everyone here to Keeping Up with Mr. Jones, only on Turfs Up Radio. It is your industry, your station. Monday, April the 4th. Man, what a wild and crazy weekend with NCAA basketball. As tonight, we will witness Roy Williams win it all with his Kansas Jayhawks, as he will be reminiscing as they will defeat the Tar Heels tonight. The odds in Vegas is a slaughterhouse, with the Jayhawks running the Tar Heels up and down the floor, making them look, wow. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. But they are really putting them to shame. And you guys know I'm freaking kidding. I will be rooting for the Tar Heels tonight. Unlike Duke fans, if the Duke Blue Devils would have won, every Tar Heel in the nation would have been rooting for Kansas tonight. And I don't see that. I don't understand that. I mean, I always root for the ACC, no matter what. North Carolina teams, I'm going to pull for. But the Tar Heels would want the Blue Devils to go down tonight. In fact, I've seen so much hate on Facebook. Like, Krzyzewski just needs to get in a car wreck on the way home. I'm not going to be happy unless I can open the door to hell and see him burning down there. Really, people? Really? We shouldn't do that. As you can hear, I got my boys in the background laughing. We're going to bring them on here in just a second. But this day in history, guys, sad, sad day. Can anybody of you tell me what did happen? But just shortly after 6 p.m. tonight was when Martin Luther King, Dr. King, was assassinated. So, sad day in American history. One of the most peaceful men that was bringing this nation together taken out. But guys, we're going to be right back here right after the short break. Don't go nowhere. We got Billy Scott with Lake Norman Turf. We got Kostas Menegakis with Landscape Solutions and Design. And we're going to talk landscape contracting. Boom! Be right back.
Hard-working hands reach for Gemplers for pro-grade landscape tools and gear. Much like our customers, Gemplers is family-owned and independent, which makes it easy to shop online and get your order shipped quickly from our warehouse straight to your front door. Rather speak to a human? No worries. Gempler always answers your call. Shop Gemplers for supplies from tools to tree care, safety to sprayers, watering to workwear, and even add your logo for free to show your customers that you're serious. Right now, buy any 2 pairs of work gloves and get a 3rd pair free. Mix and match, no limit, stock up for spring. Shop Gemplers.com. That's Gemplers.com.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, keep missing industry events but want to stay up to date on the action? Then simply download the Road Fuel Podcast by Turfs Up Radio on your mobile device. You'll hear everything you missed, including great interviews with showgoers and vendors keeping you in the know. That's the Road Fuel Podcast by Turfs Up Radio, or simply visit turfsupradio.com/Road Fuel.
Fed up with your current software solution? FieldRoutes is the cloud-based software technology you need to level up your lawn care business. From routing to scheduling, collections, marketing, reporting, and more. It's the all-in-one solution that automates, not complicates. FieldRoutes helps lawn care companies simplify, scale, and grow. Schedule your free demo today by visiting fieldroutes.com. That's fieldroutes.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Eric the Turf Teacher Jones. Oh, yeah! Teaching you life lessons, business strategies, and leadership.
Let's grow together.
And growing together is what we're doing here on Turf's Up Radio. We got a turf time of 7:05, April 4th. Tax day just around the corner. Well, if you're an incorporation or incorporated, you've already taken care of that. But anyway, guys, we're going to get Billy and we're going to get Kostas here on. Kostas, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome to the show, man. What are you guys up to this morning?
Right now, I'm currently headed down to Midland to go do a paint layout for a deck for the pool. So that's my morning right now. Got a bunch of other guys headed out to our other jobs.
Okay. Are you by yourself? Do you travel doing this by yourself, or do you take a helper along with you?
Yeah, I got one of the guys that works for me. He and I are headed down there, and we'll get up with the client, and we'll go what the drawing shows and paint that out. And then at that point, we'll see if they want to make any changes and all that, get their final blessing, and then we'll be rock and rolling on their decking starting tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you've already priced the job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're just going to mark it out and stuff and make sure that that's exactly what they want. So I guess it's easier for the client to see paint on the ground than the drawing.
It is. Yeah. So the drawing is, we base our price off of what the drawing shows, and the drawing comes from Anthony Sylvan because we're doing, the job for them. It's an off-contract job, so we come in and we deal with the client, but we still have to, it's still working, for Anthony Sylvan. But Anthony Sylvan will have the drawing of what they showed the client, so we base that price. Then we'll go paint that out and say, okay, here's what your price, was given, the estimate on. This is what, is here. If you want to make changes, we can move, we can put it in your front yard if you want.
Yeah.
Here's the square footage that's, from the plan and what you've given a deposit on. So then at that point, if they want to add a grill, fire pit, sitting wall and things like that, we'll discuss that as well.
Cool.
And go from there.
All right. Now when you get a plan from Anthony Silva, am I saying it right? Silva?
Yeah. Anthony Sylvan. Yeah.
Sylvan.
S-Y-L. Yep.
Got the N on it. Okay. So, they give you a drawing either from a landscape architect, an engineer, or one of their designers?
Yeah, they have their designers, and I will meet with their designers, on site a lot of times even before they've even sold the pool, which is pretty neat. I don't know any other pool contractors that do that. A lot of their subs will come out and, interact with the client even before they sign the contract, themselves. So the designer will come up with what they feel is, a good, layout with, input from me on drainage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I price off of what they come up with. And, the client knows there could be some changes. Because typically after the plumbing stage, when we get to cover the ditches up for plumbing, the client gets to see the pool shell is there now and how the grade looks around the pool. So the decking 9 times out of 10 changes, after that point, because they can actually see, the layout.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Well, man, you're starting early. I don't know. We'll see what Kostas is doing. I don't know if is he still at home? Kostas, are you still laying in the bed or?
Good morning. I am getting ready to drop my son off at school, and almost identical plan to what Billy Scott's going on. I have a customer we're starting a project for tomorrow, and me and my operations manager and the crew leader are actually meeting with a homeowner this morning at 8:30. They're going to start delivering the skid steer and excavators and all that stuff, job site toolboxes, all that stuff, and they'll be delivering that while I'm dropping my son off at school. And our meeting starts at 8:30 this morning, and we'll do the same, pretty much identical thing. There's no pool involved on this one. I work with the same pool contractor as Billy does. Great company, as Billy said. But we're painting everything on the ground today and getting ready to either break ground later this afternoon or first thing in the morning. I've got Mid-Atlantic Concrete, who we buy all of our hardscape materials from, delivering all the hardscapes today. And what don't get delivered today will get delivered in the morning and ready to rock and roll. And we got a set of blueprints from Tucker Benegay from Next to Nature. And like Billy said, you know, most customers, they see it on paper, but when you paint it on the ground, they either say, can we bump this area out bigger or whatever, you know, and there's always 8 out of 10 times, they're adding stuff literally right before we start digging and excavating and get the job rolling. So that's what's in store for me this morning, excuse me, 8:30. And then I'm actually meeting with another customer at 11:30 this morning to get ready for their project. We're going to try to get started on Thursday of this week. So we finished 2 jobs last week, we finished 1 job last week. Going to finish 1 probably tomorrow, and then we'll be starting 2 this week. 1 today and 1 most likely on Thursday if the weather's good to us.
That's a scary thing though, because I don't think the weather's going to be good to us this week.
Well, looking at what I was looking at.
Yeah.
It looks like, though, it's going to hold off till after lunch. So I was like, I told my crew this morning, I said, 100% you guys are working tomorrow until it rains. I don't want to hear a word. You better be here.
Yep. I woke up this morning, Billy. That's one of the first things I do is I look at the weather. And I was just telling my operations manager this morning over the phone, I said, man, the weather's changed dramatically. And he said, really? I ain't looked at it yet. And I said, yes, Saturday and Sunday, it was rain Tuesday all day and rain Thursday. Yeah. Now the rain's moving in at like 5 o'clock tomorrow is what I looked on Fox 8's website. And then Thursdays went from 90% to only 40%. So I'm hoping we get lucky and it stays away.
Stays away.
Yes, I'm hoping.
So
being optimistic.
So they're saying tomorrow, 5 p.m. rain.
That's what Fox 8 was showing, yeah.
Okay. So we get us that's, you know, I'm glad for that because it seems like over here lately we're getting the rain on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, but it starts in the morning, so we lose the day of work versus, you know,
having partial day.
At least, you know, we could still, if it rains overnight, we can go do mulch or trimming or something else. You know, the following day.
That's right. He's right.
Awesome. Well, guys, I want to jump back into those designs. Y'all are talking about design and getting those plans. You know, are you guys seeing CAD drawings come to you? Are you seeing 3D renderings? Are you seeing, you know, digital walkthroughs? What type of presentations are being presented to these clients?
For me,
go ahead, Billy.
Yeah. So for me, it's more of I get a 2D from the designers at Anthony and Sylvan, and I get a 3D. I've not ever had any of the virtual things, and I remember you talking about that, Eric, in one of our classes, I think last year. And one of my sons just got one of those. I guess is it called a VR or something?
Yeah, it's virtual reality.
Yeah, so, you know, he plays games on it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how real it is.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at that and going back and remember what you were talking about, you know, starting to implement that, you know, with clients, I was like, now I could see why that would be, you know, an awesome tool to add.
Yes. And it would, you know, let them visually see those grades and those elevations and, you know, to them to actually be standing on their patio virtually is awesome. Is awesome.
Well, I think for me, and I'll let Kostas speak for himself, but I think for my clients, it would definitely give them that more comfort and to sell the job, because the number one thing, you know, we hear from clients, myself, is, well, I'm not a visual person.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, how can you show me this? And I'm like, well, and sometimes, unfortunately, you know, we have to end up, you know, saying, well, once you get to this stage of the project, you're actually going to see how it looks, and you know, will be able to look and see if that's what you want right here, because you might move it over there. But if you can do the true, virtual of walking there, you could actually already have that all incorporated, and they really do see what it looks like.
Yep. You sure can. Well, Kostas, what kind of programs are you guys using?
Well, I used to use Pro Landscapes, but I met Tucker Benegay years ago, and I just found out that, you just let the professionals do what they do, and you do what you do best. And it seems like, I am really good at selling work, and and I don't mean that in a bragging way, just meaning I used to do everything. I used to do my designs myself on my computer with Pro Landscapes, and I used to meet the customer and everything. And I have found that it's just so much easier to involve Tucker in it and let him do the design. And what I do on my laptop is I've got before and after pictures, before the project, after the project, and then I show the customer, here's what it looks like, but here's what this customer's yard looked like before, here's what it looks like now after we finish, and let me show you their blueprints, and let me show you their 3D rendering and their walkthrough, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, holy moly, it's the same identical brick of the house. It's the same pavers. It's the same, everything. And it allows the customer exactly what the house is going to look like before a single shovel stuck in the ground. And just last week, I who Billy knows really well, Jason Smith, with Anthony Sylvan, my mind went blank on me. Anthony Sylvan introduced me to a customer in Louisville, and this customer already had a set of blueprints, and they're from another company. I won't mention the other company, but it's not a set of blueprints. It's more of a sketch, a 2D drawing. It has no elevations. It has no, none of that stuff. And so it was a perfect opportunity for me to get my laptop out, and I said, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, here's what my landscape designer does, and here's what we can do for you. And the first thing that came out of the lady's mouth is, yes, that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to see what it's going to look like sitting in my pool house looking at the pool, or I want to see what's going to look like sitting up on the main floor of the house looking down onto the pool, and it allows them to see different angles and see the actual paver, the actual block, the actual everything. So it's a very easy upsell for me once I get in front of the customer and show them what a regular set of blueprints look like or sketch versus a walkthrough, rendering, so it helps me seal the deal tremendously versus just because the three of us on this phone call can look at a set of blueprints and understand what it's going to look like. We've been doing this long enough where we can look at it and see the finished product in our head. But as Billy said, they can't visualize how it's going to look. We can, because this is what we do for a living. So we can take that 2D drawing and turn it into some screenshots to give to the customer once they sign a contract, or we can put it on a thumb drive and show them exactly what it's going to look like. And his Tucker's software is so amazing, where he can put birds and butterflies flying around, dogs running. He's got hundreds and hundreds of different types of dogs in his software, where if the customer has a Chihuahua or a German Shepherd or whatever, he can put it in there, and it just he goes that extra mile, and they'll go, wow, there's Tucker the dog, or whatever, wow, that's so cool. It's the little
level.
Yes, that's the little things that really take it to the next level.
Yeah, you're actually personalizing the drawing, literally.
That's right.
For them.
That's right.
And what does Tucker use? Is it Dynascape, or what is he using?
I think it's called Real Time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called Real Time or Pro, Real Time or Real Time Pro or something like that.
I think that's the same thing as Pool Studio. That's what a lot of the pool companies use, is Pool Studio, and they have like 3 different levels. And I think Real Time, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, is like one of the 3rd levels of Pool Studio. But Pool Studio is really good, you know, because they can do like a virtual tour, you know, on that of what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, you know, just like you send a YouTube video and that's it. It's not with the VR, but, you know, that is a good way. And it'll show at night with the lights on in the pool and the landscape around it and all that stuff. You know, people swimming.
Yeah, I pulled it up right now. It's from Structure Studios, Pool Studios.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very sharp. Now,
it is absolutely amazing. I mean, he's got, like I said, on the dog part, he's got it on the vehicles from Suburbans to convertible Mercedes. Like, he'll see what they're driving and he'll put it in their driveway. We just signed a contract with a customer, Mr. Cowman, that Jason's putting the pool in for us, and then we're doing the hardscapes and everything. But he's a big tractor collector. So while we were there with Tucker, he was showing us his collectibles in his garage. And so Tucker went the extra level and built the tractors. He took pictures of the tractors, the actual tractors at his house, and built it and put it into the software. And first thing that come out of Mr. Cowman's mouth is, "Oh my God." He goes, "Are you kidding me? You even actually put my tractors inside the software?" He's like, "Wow, that's awesome touch, Tucker." You know, and so, I mean, it just knocks their socks off before you even before you even show them the goodies. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh man, that is getting deep there. Personal levels with those clients. All right, guys, we are unfortunately going to have to take a break. It's just that time of the day. But when we come right back, guys, I got a couple more questions I want to ask Kostas and Billy, and we'll see what they have to say on that. But we'll be right back, guys.
Playing the best music.
Hands down and dirty. Turfs Up Radio.
Turfs Up Radio.
Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up.
Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
Isn't it nice when the weather cooperates and crews complete jobs on time and on budget? But weather can cause delays, and with paper route sheets, jobs get lost in the shuffle. That's why you need Aspire Crew Control scheduling software, an easy-to-use, flexible, and affordable solution that allows you to shift schedules with a single click. Try Aspire Crew Control for free at aspirecrewcontrol.com.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
Hey, this is Darren. So you thought owning your own business was going to be stress-free and everybody was going to appreciate everything you do for them? Well, I guess you found out the hard way, didn't you? But we both know it's not your fault. Sometimes it's your clients who piss you off. Sometimes it's your vendors or even some of your employees know how to get under your skin. Well, that's why I'm here. Join me live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my new show, Talkin' Trash. We can finally talk all the trash we want about these unappreciative, ignorant jerks live on the air. So why don't you join me every Tuesday and Thursday right here on Talkin' Trash, only on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. Let's see if you got the guts to let it all out.
Attention all pros. When you leave a deal with your clients, don't leave money on the table. Join Turfs Up Nation today and partner with pros all across the country who can help you make more money for services that are related to your project. Landscapers need plumbers, and pool installers need hardscapers, and every combination in between. Turfs Up Nation is free. Your information is secure, and you will be connected with other pros in the industry that want to do business with you. Not to mention property owners who need help with just about everything. If you think your clients don't need you and the connections you have, think again. Join turfsupnation.com today and start putting more money in your pocket for services you never knew you could. To sign up for this free service, go to turfsupnation.com.
Hey, everybody. Wayne Voles, the Prophet, your host of Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio. If you listen to my show, you know I'm all about profit. As an industry, profit is something we fail to meet most of the time. If you're working hard but not seeing the results that you deserve, Profits Unlimited is here to help. We offer processes and systems designed specifically to make your company more successful, more profitable, and certainly more efficient. When you're ready to take your company to the next level, reach out to me at profitsareus.com. That's profitsareus.com. And don't forget to turn into Profit Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m.
Attention all veterans. Have you heard about Turf's Up Radio's Jobs for Vets program? If you are looking for a job and you're interested in working in the landscape and snow removal profession, there just might be a company in your local area that is looking to hire. All you have to do is send us your resume at jobsforvets@turfsupradio.com. That's jobsforvets@turfsupradio.com. Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
And welcome back, Turf's Up Radio listeners. We got a Turf Time of 726 here on Monday, April 4th, National Championship Day. Now, as we all know, we've got Billy Scott, Lake Norman Turf here on the line. We've got Kostas Menegakis from Landscape Solutions and Design. We're talking about, poolscapes, hardscapes, the whole 9 yards. But I know Billy's got to go. He's got just a few more minutes before he arrives at the show. But, Billy, who are you pulling for tonight, man, or who you got bets on?
Tar Heels, man. I've been a Tar Heels fan for many years. Originally from Beckley, West Virginia, and even us up there, it was, we always pulled for the years, but it was like still up there. It's crazy how much influence, North Carolina and Duke have, in the nation.
Yes.
But even up there, it was, you still had your Duke fans and you still had your Tar Heel fans. And it was just hardcore, us buddies together, whether we were, hanging out, partying or whatever, and watching it was just like, we were so intense,
Yeah.
Live in North Carolina. And then when I moved down here back in the early 90s, seeing the true rivalry, down here with just people more extreme, it's really cool. Like, I'd always been, hope Duke loses this and that. But as I've gotten older, I'm just like, man, to have that type of rivalry and things, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
And history being made last night with the two of them meeting and, Coach K's last game. It's like, even though I've been a Tar Heel fan my whole life, it's like the respect that I have for both teams, honestly, is really high just because of the professional they present themselves on the court with each other and just the battle that they fight, each other and knowing what the rival is and just, seeing, Coach K doing his thing all these years and that being his last game,
Yeah.
I'm so glad Carolina won. But I have to be, I would really say this, and I might get some hate from, some of my fellow Tar Heel fans, but it would have been nice to see any coach, to go out with a win.
Exactly.
His first loss was with Carolina, and his last loss was with Carolina, and it's like, as far as, with both of them meeting, his first time he met Carolina, he lost. And so, but anyways, hey, I'm glad we won and stuff like that, but it's really cool to see that, that grit and fight, but that, they're still professional on the court.
Exactly. And so many people were like, the hate that they have for each other. And, and I'm not that way. I'm not that way. Like, I've always liked Duke since I was a little boy. I remember finding a Duke Blue Devil t-shirt in one of my dad's work trucks. One of the guys took it off. It was hot or whatever, and he never come back or whatever. And I'm like, what is this? And Mom and Dad's like, that's a Blue Devil shirt, and it was like a team picture, iron on. And there was like Coach K, like, his very first year or whatever. And so I kind of always liked them. But, I would pull for Wake Forest. That's like my team just being here in Winston. But I've always liked Duke. And everybody else in this family's liked Carolina, even my kids, my wife, my mom. Everybody's like Tar Heel fan. But for some reason, I just I pull for the Tar Heels when they're playing outside of the ACC and against, if they're playing most of the ACC teams, if they're playing Duke or Wake, I'm like, they got to pull against them. But so many people are like disrespecting Coach K. And, you didn't see Duke fans do that to, Roy. When Roy left, we definitely didn't do it to Dean Smith. It was a respect. I mean, what I'm hearing today on Facebook, guys, is ridiculous. And
yeah, I don't. All that's been called for. To be honest, from any people. He's again. I love Carolina, but Coach K is a legend, and that's the fact. It's a fact. It's not a myth. It's not someone else's truth. It truly is a fact.
Just like Dean Smith, just like Roy Williams. Just like, look at Jimmy Valvano, man. We still talk about that man today, is how awesome he was. And that was Mike Krzyzewski's best friend. Nobody knows that, but they were like best buds forever.
Never knew that.
Mike Krzyzewski's the one that took Coach V out to do his speech. He rode on the airplane with him. He said, I held his puke bucket. I helped him get up to stage, and he says, I'm the one, me and my wife took him and his wife, got him back home, and they were just, best friends for life. And then Coach K, respected Dean Smith and the good words that he had to say about Coach Smith. So it really hurt, especially, we got people like Kostas on here that just, despise Duke and poke the bear. I mean,
he would never poke the bear, bro.
No. And guys, for y'all that are listening, y'all don't understand how much the three of us talk on a day-to-day basis. The making fun of each other, the poking. It gets real. We get real nasty, but in the end, we all laugh at each other.
Oh man, it's a blast. I told you guys, in our private messages, like I really enjoy the relationship we've built, and just the smack talk, the things that we get to learn from each other, and we're all three in this business, right?
Yep.
But we're all three like working to build each other also.
Oh yeah.
We're not. We're not
colleagues.
Jason Smith. The last class, Kostas and I were talking. I was like, hey, they do work up there. Let me get you connected. I got him connected. With Sylvan, with Jason Smith now, and here they are already. Doing some work together. So it's about helping each other and building each other, and I really do enjoy that.
Well, good. Yep.
Well said, Billy. Yeah.
Yep. Costas does learn a lot from us, don't he?
Yeah, he does. He might make it one day. He might.
I love it. Live on air, still getting picked on. That's when you call love right there.
It must mean that you're really good and we really like you, or we wouldn't.
That's right. That's
true.
Exactly right.
That's true. Well,
the
Kostas,
feeling is mutual.
You had the story about your high school. What coach was it or teacher that always picked on you, and you're like, you never understood why?
Oh, yeah, my automotive high school teacher, yeah. I can't say live on the air the words that he said. That's back in the days, But I asked, his name was Mike Hunt, and I said, Mr. Hunt, I said, I got a question for you. And he said, yeah. I said, why do you always pick on me? And like I said, I can't say the word. He said, but if I didn't pick on you, that means I don't like you. And I looked at him dead in his eyes. I said, okay, sounds good. I can take that as an answer.
I can take it.
Yeah, because he would always joke on me because I was the only Greek mechanic. Back in the day, you used to be called a mechanic. Today's world, you call it a technician. And he said, you should be slinging pizzas and feta cheese, and he would make fun of me all the time.
Oh man!
But I've been different my whole life, and I never wanted to do restaurant business. And my parents grew up in the restaurant business or had restaurants growing up, and never wanted to do it. And I've had two passions in life, and that was working on cars back in the days and landscaping. So I followed one of my dreams, and it's been a blessing. But yeah, he was like, "What is a Greek doing in the automotive repair business?" He's like, explain that to me. He's like, why aren't you slinging pizzas? And of course, I had to mess with him. I said, Mr. Hunt, I said, pizza's Italian. I said, Greeks is spanakopita and feta cheese. And he said, it's all Greek to me. God rest his soul.
Oh. Well, hey, Billy, before you jump off, man, because I know you're almost at the job site, when you're working for Anthony, are you actually working for him and getting paid by him, or do they just let you handle your part with the customer?
So everything that they do, the footprint of the pool is always on contract. So, they pay me direct for that, and they pay for the materials for that. But anything outside of that, it can be off contract, which is the client deals with me, but I still have to provide the same warranties, the same, obviously, professionalism, whatever, as I am, So on an on-contract job, I have to give a 1-year warranty, blah, blah, blah. So still, even if it's off contract, I'm still tied with Anthony Sylvan to provide, that, which, I mean, we would anyways, but, we're still required to do it. The on-contract with Anthony Sylvan, what it does is some clients don't want, they just want to pay one person.
Yeah.
But they pay a lot more money that way, where if you get in with the salespeople, they'll say, they'll start turning you on to off-contract work, pushing the decks your way and outdoor kitchens and stuff like that, because then it saves the client tons of money. You've built a relationship with a salesperson. You're able to make the money you need to make off the job versus it being like as a sub pay where, it's going to be like, 20, 30 less.
Yeah.
But it's a really good working relationship with them. I work with a couple other pool companies, but it's 98% of the pool work is with them. And they're really good at what they do. They've been in business for 75 years. So they're not going anywhere.
No, they're not. Kostas, with you and your designs, is Tucker working directly for you, or is he contracting with the customer?
Yeah, the way we have it set up is as if you were a customer, Eric. I'd come meet you about the landscape design and the landscaping, and once I disclose that it's $150 an hour for Tucker to come out and do a landscape design, that if you sign a contract, Mr. Jones, for us to do the project, we provide a free set of blueprints, and once you sign a contract, then we refund your money, because we do require a deposit on the landscape design. It's $895, and that basically pays for the first 8 to 9 hours. And then from there, if it's a 15-hour design or 20-hour design on a project, that if the customer signs the contract, then the customer has two choices. We can either write them a check back, credit them their money, or just credit the end of the job. So yes, Tucker works for me.
Okay.
And he deals with me, and I introduce him to the customers and all that stuff.
Okay, so basically it's Landscape Solutions and Design doing the design work.
That's right.
Got you.
Right. And then we also we refer our people that call and say, hey, we're looking for a pool, who do you recommend, blah blah blah. And so then obviously we get everything that is an off contract availability, because it's our client coming in, with them. But it's a good gig. We get to make some really cool relationships. And last year Anthony Sylvan built 603 pools. So the Charlotte area permitted 2,500 pools, and that's counting fiberglass and liner pools. And Anthony Sylvan did a third of that with fiberglass and vinyl pools in the mix, and they don't even do vinyl and fiberglass. So that's right. How much of the market that they have. Yeah. And this year they're on track to be around 650 to 700. So it's a good relationship. It definitely keeps you busy.
Yes.
But I've got I hate to run, guys, man. I pull it up here with the client, and It's like I said, it's an honor to get to talk to you guys this morning and to be on the show and stuff, and look forward to many more.
All right, buddy.
Likewise, Billy.
Kostas, you got a moment to stay around just a second?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
You
cool.
got me until show's over.
All right, good deal. Well, Billy, thanks, man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Guys, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Billy. Good talking to you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
See ya.
See you. Well, Kostas, one thing that I like, hearing is that, you're doing the design. It's in-house. So, the drawings, I'm sure, has got your logo and everything on it. And it's got
It does, yep.
Tucker's design stamp or whatever. But so when you meet the client, I hear you say get them to sign a contract. Are they just signing a contract for the design work up front, or are they signing a contract for the entire pool job?
It depends, Eric. I do it two ways. I let the customer to pick which way. It's worked both ways for me, and it's been working that way, so we're going to keep it that way. So I can come and meet with you, like have an appointment tomorrow with a customer. They know they want a pool, they want a fireplace, they want an outdoor kitchen, they want all these things, but they don't know how to lay it out, or you were going to have to hold their hand from start to finish kind of deal.
Yeah.
And we always ask every customer, what is your budget to do what you want to do? And I've heard both ways. I've heard don't ask for budget, and we've heard, ask for budget. And recently we stopped asking for a budget, and we sit with the customer and we say, okay, what do you want? And then we draw it up. And then if they love the design, then I'll price it. Yeah. That's one way. The other way is you meet customers and they know they want 500 square foot pavers. They know what kind of grant they want. They know all these things that they want. They've been doing their homework. I've gone to a customer's house before where they've literally sketched it out, almost to scale on a piece of paper. Then I price it, and if they agree to it, then we get Tucker involved and get a design, get a contract signed. So it just depends on which approach they want to go. But I'd say probably 8 out of 10 times I'm giving them an estimate according to what they say they wanted, how many square foot of pavers and what kind of fireplace, custom built versus pre-manufactured. I give them a price, and if they want to move forward, then we sign a contract on the design and on the project itself, and I make it very clear to the customers that once the design comes back and it shows more things on there, because Tucker always puts whatever, the landscaping, the irrigation, or he shows the landscape lighting, and they didn't want all that, but he still shows it on there for multiple reasons, either upsell or phase number 2. Phase number 2 is going to be the lighting, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. They've already got a set of blueprints, and when they call me back, we're not involving Tucker again. We've already got a set of blueprints, and we can build off of it from there. So, like I said, 8 out of 10 times, most people, yes, Kostas, get us an estimate for what we want, and if it's within our budget, then we're ready to sign a contract, move forward, and we'll get Tucker involved. And, that's like Mr. Kalman, the gentleman I was just talking about earlier. I mean, he knew exactly what he wanted. He knew what shape pool he wanted. He knew how big of a pool house he wanted, everything. So I was able to take all those notes, and I got him a real good estimate according to the size and everything he was wanting done. And once we signed a contract for that, and we got Tucker involved, when Tucker got the set of blueprints, and I priced it, I was about $15,000 low from what I originally priced the project. But part of that was Tucker put some things in there that we didn't think about, and we didn't talk about. And so I was able to upsell $15,000 because he's doing the entire blueprints. And it was an upsell for me, and it's just a win-win from everybody.
Gotcha. So, and the only way you can actually price this stuff without the design is you've done it so much. You know what it costs your guys in your cost on per square feet, I'm assuming, for your pavers if you're estimating a wall that they need, you're doing that by the square footage. So, I'm saying this job you're talking right now is what, probably 200 plus?
The Calvins?
Yeah.
It's 585.
Oh my God. So a $500,000 job. And
the pool house is 160 of it. The pool for Jason that Jason's putting in, the pool is 135,000 of it, and the rest is ours.
So you're about
meaning Landscape Solutions. Yeah.
Well, you're what? So you're right at 220. So you said 150 for the pool house, 150 for the pool.
Yeah. Well, the pool's 135. Yeah.
130. So your cost around 200 plus. You're over 200, right. But still, at that size of a job, and you only were 15,000 off. Based on
pretty good.
That's damn awesome. To sit there and figure it. And how long does it take you to give a customer that estimate? Like, how much time do you spend on it?
I had 10 hours. I was curious. I told my wife when I sat down to price it, even though we had them under contract, I was going to price it verbatimly, what I call verbatimly, literally off the blueprint, exact square footage, everything.
Yeah.
And I had 10 hours in that pricing that estimate.
Yeah. And that's the hard stuff that people don't see.
That's right.
They don't understand.
And you don't always get those jobs. You don't always get them. You got 10 hours invested in it, and the customer might go, you know what, way more than we thought it was going to be. Let's pull back, or we're going to do this later. Or, I had one customer, they were ready, had blueprints, and all this stuff. And once I presented the price, they said, you know what, we're going to put the house up for sale, and we're going to buy a house with a pool and with hardscapes. And so that's what they did, So I didn't get the job, and I had days and days and days involved in meeting with them, picking out materials, all that stuff, so.
Yeah, that's the heartbreakers, and but it's just what you have to do. It's part of the game.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, buddy. We're going to take our final break, guys. We've got Kostas Menegakis with Landscape Solutions and Design, and we're going to have Hecubus, probably the quietest Tar Heel fan that I know, joining us here for the morning show. So, guys, we'll be right back here after the break.
Hey Turfs Up Radio fans, do you know what time it is? That's right, it's Turfs Up Radio time. Now you can hear the latest updates in green industry news, services and technology. Learn about new products all while enjoying the best music. If you don't believe me, then ask my good friend Alexa. Just say launch Turfs Up Radio.
What's up? I'm Brandon Jordan. Check out my music on all the streaming places such as iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and yeah, you guessed it, Turfs Up Radio, baby. Your industry, your station.
Hey everybody, it's Brooke Ford, host of The Green Veteran here on Turfs Up Radio. Be sure to check me out every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You're going to hear some great one-on-one interviews with green industry professionals. We're going to talk about best business practices, highlight innovative products, and also provide some insight into some new emerging technologies in the field. That's The Green Veteran, airing each Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And remember, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Eric the Turf Teacher Jones. Oh, yeah! Teaching you life lessons, business strategies, and leadership.
Let's grow together.
And growing together is what we're doing here on Turfs Up Radio, guys. We got a turf time of 7:49, T-minus 10 minutes and 30 seconds before the number one show on Turfs Up Radio, Hecubus and the morning show. All right, Kostas, you still with us, buddy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and speaking of Hecubus, I did not know this, Kostas, but Hecubus has 2 bachelor's degrees from UNC Chapel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I saw what you wrote.
Out of the blue, man. Out of the blue, he's like, yeah, I got 2 degrees from there, and then I got another bachelor's degree from the University of Alexandria in Cairo, Egypt. Like, the dude is freaking dang walking history book. And he's been so quiet on this Tar Heel stuff, man. Like, really quiet. He's like, well, man, when I was there, I was like all into it, and now I'm just, kind of laid back. Unlike the students that stormed, how many thousands of students stormed Franklin Street Saturday night?
Oh yeah. I saw pictures, yeah.
I'm going crazy.
And I have to chime in. I know Billy was talking, then he had to go. But, I'm a diehard Tar Heels fan, as you're very well aware of, and you always give me a hard time. But here's the thing. This is the thing I was showing my son yesterday morning. I said, son, because he's going to be 13 soon, and and I'm trying to teach him, respect and all that stuff. I said, look, let me show you something. I actually showed him this right before we went to church. I said, look, Coach K walked up to, I don't know if you saw that video or not, but Coach K after the game walked up I think they were coming out of the locker room, walked up to Armando and said, "Are you okay, young man?" And he said, and Armando said, "Yes, Coach, I'm fine. Thank you for asking." And Coach K said, "I just want you to know you are my player of the year selection." And Armando Bangkok said, "Thank you, Coach. That means a lot." And he said, "You're a great player, and congratulations." And I showed my son that because, yes, we might talk junk to all the big players or whatever, or big people, fans, whatever. But at the end of the day, as you and Billy were saying, is respect. And as Billy said, numbers are facts. And he is, one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach ever, college basketball. And as much as I hate to say it, he was an awesome coach, and respect is given where respect is due. And, obviously I'm glad we won, but, if Duke would have won, honest to God, and this is actually another conversation I had with my son the other night, where it was State playing the women playing State was playing University of UConn. Yeah. He was pulling for UConn. I said, no. What are you doing? He's like, why, Daddy? And I was like, State, it's ACC. We're going to pull for the ACC team. As much as I would hate to say it, I would have pulled for Duke versus Kansas. And as much as I hate to say it, I would have.
Same here, man.
But just because that's the ACC team.
Yes, and the same way here, man. I'm rooting for the Tar Heels tonight, just because a friend of mine, my mom, my wife, my kids, they'll all be rooting for the Tar Heels, and I want to see them happy. And plus, I want to see a North Carolina Atlantic Coast Conference team win it all. And right. and before the game, it was awesome to see Coach Davis, Hubert Davis. He walked up to Mike Krzyzewski's wife and gave her a big hug. Right. And like you said, the mutual respect, and we don't see behind the scenes like that much.
That's right.
They're all friends, and they're competitors, but
that's right.
They're friends, and they truly have a relationship with each other off the TV and off the court. So, and that's what a lot of diehard fans don't realize. Is that these coaches respect each other, and they go out to dinner, and they go over to each other's houses, and they they hang out. So it's just crazy. And another coach that I like is the University of Kentucky's coach. That dude is just awesome, and his philosophy is totally different than some of what we grew up watching. I mean, he's a one and doneer. Let's get these guys in, win a championship, which they. It's been a while since they've done it, but let's get them to the NBA. He's a wholly, totally different approach to the game than what we've done. But growing up here in ACC country, man, dude, it's telling us that we're getting old. That now Roy's retired, Mike Krzyzewski's retired, Valvano's gone, Dean Smith's gone. Like, dude, it's a whole new era. And it shows our age, because I remember the very first basketball game that I can remember was when Michael Jordan and Tar Heels, they won it in '82. I was 9 years old, and that's when I really caught on to basketball. I remember. And then the next year, NC State won. So, those days are gone, man, because those coaches are now retiring or either passed on. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. It's like with NASCAR, Look at all the good guys going from NASCAR. Earnhardt Jr., Gordon, Bill Elliott, all those guys, man, that we grew up watching, you're retired or, no longer with us. And it's sad. And it was sad seeing, Coach K, leave, his last game. But the coolest thing about him, he went and grabbed his wife's hand and they walked off together.
That's right.
Because they did it as a team. And so.
That's right. And they got a sweet relationship for years. You've always known that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He loves her and worships the ground she walks on, and the feeling is mutual for her and to him.
Yep.
Talking about the game, I actually had a customer of mine show up, that a Carolina graduate, and Saturday night they all came over. We sat in the home theater room and watched the game. And my commercial banker was with me, who's a huge Carolina fan, and so we're all sitting there watching the game Saturday night. After the game, after we finished high-fiving each other, I looked at – because I'm always trying to be dad, and I'm always trying to – yes, son, it's great to be, live in a moment, but also, do you know what just happened? And I asked my son after we high-fived each other and hugged, and we're all, yay, rah, rah, rah. I looked at my banker, I looked at my son, and I said, y'all know what just happened? And they're like, what? I said, we just witnessed history. And my son was like, huh? History? What? Because we won? Yay. And I was like, no, son. Yeah, we won, yes, but we watched Coach K's last game. We watched history. Duke and Carolina have never, ever played in an NCAA tournament. We just watched history. And I told him, my son, I said, when I'm old and you're married and you got kids and I'm grandpa sitting over there, I want you to remember this moment, and I want you to tell your kids, I remember watching that game with Daddy, and watching Coach K's last game, and watching the first time Carolina and Duke ever met, and once I said that, you kind of saw the light bulb go off on his head. He's like, oh, cool, Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my banker said the same thing. He goes, dude, I never thought about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Way to put it in perspective, So I told him, I said, yes, it's great we won, but we watched history, and anytime I have history being made, it's history, It's awesome.
Yep, that's true. That's true. And I'm thinking that was almost like the 100th game, the 100th time that he played Carolina. It seemed, I don't know, I'll have to go back and research that, but I think his record was like 50-49 with them, which would have made it.
Ain't that amazing? Almost tied.
Yeah,
wow.
And I think with Carolina winning it was tied, so it was like 50-50. I'll have to go back and research that, because I remember I seen something like that on ESPN.
I'm curious to know that answer.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It's time to hand it over to Hecubus and let him start the morning show. So, dude, I appreciate it, man. You always bring valuable information to our listeners, and it's always a pleasure to have you, man.
Thank you for having me and Billy this morning. As you said, we all joke around, but at the end of the day, we're friends. We're very close friends, but as you taught us, I know you taught me, and Billy said the same thing earlier, you taught us that we are colleagues.
Yes.
And what Billy said is very true. I asked Billy, I said, man, I've been using this pool company, and we offer a certain level of experience to our customers. We offer a certain level of communication and professionalism. And I said, man, I'm struggling to find this pool company that I can just send tons of work to, and they can send me work, and I know they'll represent me with the best, utmost professionalism and all that. He goes, oh man, that's simple. Jason Smith, Anthony Sylvan, and he got me in touch, and I got 2 pools getting go in with him already, and he's already sent me another patio job for a pool job he needs done. So, Billy could have easily been like, no, I don't have anybody, and kept information to himself, and that's not the right thing to do. We're all here to help each other.
Exactly.
There's more grass cutting, there's more hardscapes, there's more anything landscaping that you and I can ever do, so Why not help our colleagues to grow?
Yep.
If we're growing, let's help them grow, and that's just the mentality that you set in my brain years ago when we met, and I think everybody that takes your class and your courses, I guarantee you come away with that, if not 10,000 other things that you do. So I want to thank you for everything you do, Eric. I mean, you're amazing. A person, first and foremost, and second, you are a role model to all of us hardscapers and landscapers, and you're awesome at what you do, and thank you for everything you do.
Well, appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it, and it was a pleasure having you. And I do want you to know that I'll call you here a little bit later today, my friend.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
See
Have
you,
a
man.
great day, everybody.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, and that wraps up Keeping Up with Mr. Jones. We're getting ready to hand it over to Hecubus, world-renowned Tar Heel fan. And what's going on, my friend? What's up, Hecubus?
What's going on, man? How's your day?
It's going, man. It's already good day, man. Talked to 2 good people on the show. I'm getting ready to talk to another good person. So what's up, brother?
Oh, yeah. I can't complain, man. I can't complain. It was a beautiful weekend.
Oh, awesome. Let me go ahead and give you the keys so that everybody knows that we're on the morning show.
Should probably do that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Join me tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on Tuesday, April the 5th. Keeping Up with Mr. Jones only on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.